Right, he's been pretty busy. Don't make too many videos these days, but that's okay. It's not a bad thing. But I was in my car, so I thought I would take some time. Yeah, I saw like a thread about what the purpose of the alt-right is or something. And this is a topic that I've talked about before. I just pulled up this tweet like randomly for something to look at that's vaguely related to what I'm talking about. I'm kind of intrigued how all these internet nobodies, internet anons, or even people with relatively large followings, but when you compare them to mainstream people, are very minor figures talking about overthrowing society, like having a revolution, which is obviously a very large game-changing event. And they just have these threads about, oh, this is how we need to achieve this. We need to go the minority route, or we need to reach the normies, or just like these constantly stupid conversations that have no chance of ever succeeding. I mean, the chances of, say, like one of these dissident movements coming to power is, like the chances of a communist revolution happening, like of a Bolshevik revolution happening in the United States, basically never going to happen, if not impossible. So then what's the purpose of all this talk? Well, I think a lot of it is blowing off steam, expression. It's like a big fantasy, right? People are just fantasizing, like glorified masturbation, basically. But it's also status seeking, right? Like this guy, the original Roland Rat, who's actually academic agent, he's developed kind of this belief system of what needs to happen. He calls it like boomer truth, which supposedly, I guess, is based on post-World War II beliefs in the wake of the Nuremberg trials, which he talks about a lot, which set up the, rules-based international order, we call it, right? Internationalism, where we wouldn't allow a rogue state to fuck everything up like the Third Reich did back in the day, or Putin is trying to do now. So he has this whole tautology, kind of memeology that he's developed. And why does he do this? Like, somebody like this has no chance of ever taking power or having much influence at all, other than limited influence online. And, by the way, he sells books and courses. So the only thing he's successful at is reaching an audience of a certain size and generating revenue off of them. Grifting, basically. So how are we supposed to know if this guy is legit versus he's just doing this for attention, for money, etc.? Maybe there's something to his beliefs, like he actually believes it to a certain degree, but I think we got to believe the results he's getting. He's selling courses and he's selling books. How is he doing this? He has a contrarian belief system where he says, he's not going like full 1488, but he's kind of, virtue signaling in that direction. I guess he's he likes Evola, who was a pro-fascist traditionalist. So it's virtue signaling, basically. Like, I have the inside truth. I have the red pills. Like, if you want to succeed, you need to take these red pills. It's the only way to the truth. If you don't indulge in these red pills, then you're you're just a boomer truther normie, basically a loser. If you want to be a winner, you got to take what I'm selling. Oh yeah, and buy my books and courses, by the way. So these movements have no chance of ever succeeding or even getting much influence. Everybody has an influence on the world, at least a minuscule influence, but it's all virtue signaling, it's all status seeking behavior. Like, I'm the real McCoy, I'm the red-pilled guy that has the inside track on the truth, what really needs to happen. And everyone who's criticizing me and trying to bring me down is a controlled opposition of the normies. It's just really stupid circular thinking. But pretty plain to see once you understand the space. So, I don't know, that was just a thought of mine. That probably said many times in these videos, you know what I mean? But I forget exactly what I've said in the past. And it was just on my mind right now. And there's a whole bunch of these guys. There's like this academic agent guy. There's a Thomas 777 guy who is a, quote, revisionist historian who's indulged in a bunch of this revisionist type history, claiming that we've been taught all these mistruths about specifically the Weimar German World War II era, and this is the cause of the malaise that we're now in. And so his mission is to kind of undo that and say the Allies were actually the nefarious party in that conflict. And he's interviewed by the Pete, he has some crazy last name. It's like Pete Quahanas or some shit. I don't know if that's a Spanish Mexican last name, whatever. And I don't know, there's a bunch of other people in that circle too. But just a big retarded circle jerk. Otto Pohl is like a minor guy in that circle. He provides some, quote, historical support, even though he basically fabricates his own history. Anyway, just something I was gonna make a note on, since I had a moment to make a video, and I haven't made any shitty videos in a while. Anyway, everyone have a good day, I guess.